You're going to stick that clip in.
What?
Going to stick the clip in and boss people.
That's right, when I just do it, like, just like...
Please learn it, please. Honestly, I literally would explode with laughter, like. See, if you get a few drinks in you Saturday night and you start busting that fucking dance.
Just bust all out. Well, one of them shins, come on, you kid, like.
Isn't that not a double hand? It's the wee small legs, wee small feet, and the small hands. It's literally.
And big pecs.
Hold selfie. Your cheeks come out further than what mine do.
What, like a chipmunk?
You're a one big ass chipmunk, like. I think that sits better in his head than it does in fucking mine. Can't believe this is the first part. Who's fucking. Actually, see when I think about it, that has got stretch in it. And I literally thought I had the biggest head in the world. Whose head is bigger?
Actually, I actually feel it sitting against my head.
Look, somebody has like, if that is tight in anybody's head, somebody has like 2 inches bigger, 3 inches bigger head than me, like. Get warmed up, the fuck, it's freezing in here. We'll do some light log, see how it all feels. Because we're now 2 weeks post-injection, so it's obvious to me that the issue's still there, because I can still feel it. I can still feel issues in my back. I don't have any of the nerve pain go down my leg, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to get carried away with it. Like, I just want to take my time, build things up, see how things feel. So I know what'll aggravate it, because I can still feel that feeling without feeling the pain, if it makes sense. So I know whenever I'm doing stuff too far, you know what I mean. So even though I'm going back to lifting, I'm still being smart. I'm not pushing myself too much. So we're going to do a bit of log, and while we're doing log, we're going to fire through questions that was sent through for this video, and the theme of it was all mental health based questions. So I've looked through some of them. I know there's some more working through the day I haven't had a chance to look at, so I'm going to answer them sort of in between sets, and they're all the questions that came forward from all you guys. So I'm going to give my opinion. My opinion may not be the right opinion. I always say that in everything that I deliver regards mental health. What my opinion is doesn't necessarily mean it's the right one. It's just my opinion. Go out there, try it, see if it works for you. If it works, brilliant. If it doesn't, there's loads of other options out there. So let's get stuck in and get warmed up first, and then we'll start banging out a few questions.
So Chris, how's things going with Bear Strong at the minute?
Fucking busy. Don't want to complain because this is what I wanted, but everything sort of arrived. Oh well, Bear Strong has took like literally what, a year and a half, like a lot of work, a lot of push, and now it's just sort of all come together at the one time. So I have a tour on in February where we're basically at Belfast, Dublin, London, Manchester, Cardiff, where's the medicine one? Edinburgh. Turning around and doing a tour. It's called the Rise Up Tour. And the reason it's called a Rise Up Tour is because the main focus of that talk is trying to explain to the audience is how you can rise up from rock bottom, and that's why it's called the Rise Up Tour, where it's showing people a real in-depth look of what it's like and the sort of depths of depression, really going into suicide and just sort of the dark side of mental health, and then showing the rise up, if you like, you know, of moving into a happier, you know, more content, life, you know, and enjoying life. Like, I'm in no way, I don't want to be big-headed, or no way want to bum myself up, you know, but like, it still has to be noted as the way my life is now. And the way my life is now is, it is very, you know, it's a good life, you know, like it's that borderline celebrity type life, and you know, I love it, and I'm absolutely enjoying it, and it's filled with happiness, it's filled with good people, but it came from the total opposite of a place. It came from a really, really dark place, and through this tour and through everything we do with Bear Strong, I suppose, it's about showing people and inspiring people and giving people hope that you can go from that stage into like, it's just literally like a totally new life. It's not even, it's parallel worlds, you know what I mean? And to go from thinking there's no hope, there's no opportunity, there's nothing that can be done, you know, that the only option was to take handfuls of pills and hope you never wake up. To go from that to living the life that I'm living now, you know, 2 really good businesses, successful businesses, you know, getting newspaper articles, TV interviews, you know, magazine interviews, photo shoots with some of the best photographers in the UK. To go from that to that, it's mad. It's this like 2 different worlds, and like, I want to show people, like, I'm not saying through my tour, I don't expect anybody to develop the lifestyle that I develop, but it can be a lifestyle for anyone. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's potential to turn it in, to turn your life into whatever you want to turn it into. This is what I wanted to turn mine into. Everybody's different, you know, and that's what the Rise Up tour is about showing that it's possible. And then, as well as that, the start of next year, we have a Bear Strong accredited course in mental health awareness and a Bear Strong accredited course in LGBTQ awareness, which can be taken into your workplace, can be taken into schools, colleges, universities, and whoever completes that course actually gets a qualification in mental health awareness and LGBT awareness. So like, that's a huge thing, and it's a fucking amazing thing to be able to bring out. I know through my talks and my seminars, I believe the Bear Strong message is one of the best mental health awareness messages that could be delivered. I think it beats anything else out there, hands down. Obviously I'm a bit biased, but you know, the feedback that I get proves that to me, and that's what keeps me sort of driving forward. So as well as that, all the clothing with Bear Strong, there's obviously the women's clothing range that's brought out and it's selling like mad. There's a new men's clothing range getting brought out. I think already for January, February and March was something like 16 bookings so far for next year. So like, it's just going mental at once, but this is what I want. It's what I need to keep up with it. I need to keep going, but it's just crazy. Like, it literally is crazy, but I'm so thankful. I've had a couple of big magazines as well wanting to do editorial pieces, which hopefully will be coming out sort of the start of next year and around the time of the tour. There's TV interviews set up as well, so there's a lot going on. Like, and then obviously as well, I need to get my ass back in gear for strongman shows coming up too. So yeah, there's a lot going on. Like, and it's, I wouldn't say, but I'm still enjoying it all. Like, it's just trying to stay on top of it, and then as well as that, trying to look after my own mental health, because if my head starts to go down, it'll just ruin everything for me, type of thing. But I'm excited, looking forward to it, but there's a huge workload ahead.
Yeah.
Fucking that's getting tighter, boys. Out there. There needs to go on a diet.
Got a question there from your Instagram, Chris. Have you ever faced any stigmas about mental health?
Yeah, there's obviously a lot of stigma around mental health. I think it's getting a lot better. You know, I do think people, you know, especially men, I think they're starting to learn now that you can talk about your mental health more. I think talking is one thing, but getting help is another, and there's a lot of barriers that are up there for people who need to get help. You know, I would say our healthcare system isn't great, and there's too many limitations put on it for what help can actually be given. My own personal experience of what I received through my healthcare, I worked with a really good counsellor at the time, but you know, I wouldn't say that the help that I got from GPs or anything like that was anything special at all, and in fact it was pretty dire. But sticking to the stigma question, you know, you do hear a lot of things like, you know, man up, what's getting you down, what have you got to be down about, you know, and those are very stigma based things where somebody will look at the lifestyle you're living and then judge it and say you don't have a right to be depressed about something, and that's totally wrong. You know, we have millionaires, actors, celebrities who suffer with depression, and we look at their lifestyle as in the dream lifestyle. A lot of people do anyway, and they can still get depressed. You know, the lifestyle, what you have around you, what money you have, what family you have, friends you have, none of that comes into play to whether or not you can suffer with depression. Everybody can suffer with depression. It's your mind and your environment are two different things, and if your mind's not well, you need to get out there and get help to make it better. You know, especially in sport, you know, I talk to so many athletes when you get injured. You know, what would you do if you get injured? So here's, for example, I injured my back, so first thing I do is I try to figure out exactly what's wrong with my back, try to start rehabbing it, start doing exercise to build it and to strengthen everything around it, support it, build it up, get rid of the pain, get rid of the weaknesses, and bring it back stronger. And every athlete will do the exact same when they get an injury. They'll try to find out exactly what is wrong, what the problem is, try to train it to fix it and get a solution to make it better. But when you talk to somebody about a mental illness, for some reason people don't go down that exact same route, and it should be. You know, the minute you feel your mental health suffering, the minute you feel that there's a problem there, you should be treating it the exact same way you would treat it as something physical. You try to find out what the problem is, you try to find if there's any solutions to the problem, you try to train it to make it better, you try to seek professional help to help you make it better, and you come back stronger. It's the exact same thing. The mental and the physical should never be treated any different. It's the same thing, and you know, the stigma around, you know, I guess I had a lot of people say to me, I never would have thought you suffer with mental health. And I can tell you now, the people who sometimes suffer the most, you'll never ever understand, or you'll never ever realise how much they suffer, because it's the whole thing with wearing a smile, keeping a happy face, and then whenever you're behind closed doors, whenever you're not in front of people, you act differently. And the case with me, like when I was at my worst, nobody would have known. People just thought it was just bad day, bad week maybe, but nobody ever would have known how bad it was because I didn't talk about it. So there's a lot of stigma still out there with mental health, not the way it used to be, because the stigma I think used to be, oh, men shouldn't suffer, and you know, real basic ass stigma. Now the stigma I think is more sort of fine, you know, about smaller things the stigma is, instead of the bigger picture of mental health. But stigma's getting better, but I don't think the support that's there for mental health is getting any better, which I'd obviously like to see get better. Oh, pure moment there. What's in your pocket?
So there's a choice. You get one, I get one.
I want whatever I decide to have.
Yeah, so whatever.
No, we have to guess.
So you get one and I'll get one, right?
Right.
So you have to choose.
Oh, that's a fucking choice and a half, like.
That's a choice and a half.
What flavour are they? Is that just, oh, they were white Reese's? I would prefer the brown ones.
They're not the nicest, I think.
No, I'm more of a dark chocolate, you know what I mean? You don't get that, do you?
No, I get that one.
Right, I'm gonna go Whisper Gold.
Yeah!
At least you came in to give me a chocolate bar.
He's cute.
Huh?
Very cute.
You got a queer fucking mouthful in there, boy, don't you? Bulk powders. If you want a new LGBT athlete, fuck Tom Daly. I'm joking. Man! Push!
No messing about now. Come on. Come on up. Let's go press.
Had to get out of me before I left it.
Come talk. Come talk to me. I'm your brother.
Just show some sisterly love. Look at the bitch. Come on. Let me show you a video of Jimbo. Jordy. Jordy's new nickname's Jimbo. Come here to see Jimbo. Come here to see Jimbo. Boss Baby. You ever watch Boss Baby? No.
Oh, Jordy, that is you!
Please learn that dance for Saturday night. Please. I fucking love that, man. I hate it when people do a taster like that. Like you haven't even drunk. If I just go to taste something, I take a slug of it. If it's for me, it's for me.
It's very sweet. Well, it's
Well,
sweet.
come here.
Well, it's like
It is sweet, but I like it.
Just another question here, Chris. You said if you feel yourself starting to get into like a rut, what are the kind of methods you would use to help?
I think whenever you start to, your mood starts to drop, and you start to get into a bad, you feel yourself, and a lot of people who suffer with mental health will get these warning signs. Well, I will get these alarm bells going off that I'm going to a bad place here type of thing, and I would still get them now, more often than I'd like to, where I sort of get these moments where I'm like, you know, you need to act on this now and sort it, or else it's going to end up going to a bad place. And things that I would do is, for me, my hardest times at weekends, because weekends, my routine, my training, my work isn't as hectic, so things is more relaxed normally at the weekends. Things is more relaxed, so I have more choice in spending time chilling maybe, or doing things when I want to, so it's not, my mind's not being kept as active, like I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do this, I need to do that. I'm just more chilled, so it gives me more time to think about negative things, you know, for having stuff go around in my head. So when I do get that stage and I can feel myself starting to think very negatively, starting to get bad thoughts, I just literally stand myself up, walk out, go and do something. I just get away from being in the house or being in a situation where I have that too much time to think and let your mood go down. Acting on something will always make you feel more in control. Sitting with something and not acting on it, it doesn't feel you're in control. So if you act on something, if you take charge of something and you act on it in whatever way you need to act on it, you need to act in some way, shape or form to make things better. Once you know you're actually acting on it, that in itself will make you feel a lot better. So taking them steps forward, make some type of a movement will make you feel a lot more in control of what's going on, and will help you to start lifting yourself back up.